All right, hockey fans, welcome to another edition of the Wolves Hockey Show. We bring highlights, news, information, and much more on the Wolves hockey program. Coach, great weekend last weekend, huh?
Yeah, it was. I think for a lot of teams it was a really good weekend.
Yep. All teams were in action, excluding our tournament teams, and we won all the games, so you can't get much better than that. Coach, tell me about what the U14s did last weekend.
So U14s had 2 games on Sunday. They played the New England Wolverines first, won 5-4. I got to see the third period of that, so that was a good finish. They scored in the last minute there.
Yeah.
Then they played later in the day against Northern Mass Vipers and won 5-1.
Yeah, it was a great weekend of action for those guys on Sunday, and we got some clips we're going to show you right now. Saturday action here in Merrill Fay. Great finish by Evan Guerin in the second period. Third period action against the New England Wolverines. Brendan Marcoux, great finish. Wolves win 5-4. Doubleheader on Sunday. Tilton School game here. Brendan Marcoux gets to the net, and Case Rogers with a nice finish. 6-1 win, Wolves. So the 14s are currently on a 7-game win streak. They're sitting in first place in the New England Premier Hockey League. Coach, tell me what you think, what you've seen from some of those guys, and what do they got to do here headed towards the playoffs?
Yeah, Coach Guerin has those guys playing really well right now. Just really got to keep going and make sure to play their best hockey in the playoffs.
Absolutely. They look like they're ready to go. They're doing pretty well.
Definitely.
Cool. Now we had U16 in action too, right, Coach? Tell me about the U16 a little bit.
U16s, yeah, I know they were in action this weekend. I think you have the score there.
I do. They won 6-3 versus the Connecticut Junior Rangers. They're out of Stamford, Connecticut, and they're a big program located in Connecticut. And the Wolves were able to pull out a 6-3 win. Some of the guys who played great in that game were Jake Marcoux and Fisher Galuzzo. Did really well in that game. So they're kind of rocking and rolling here in the last couple weeks, headed towards the Tier 1 Hockey League playoffs.
Yeah, that's a good result for those guys.
Absolutely.
Now both junior teams were in action as well. If you want to start with EHL Premier.
Yeah, the EHL Premier had one game on Saturday, and they won 5-4 in overtime. We got some clips. We're going to show you that. So this is the start of Saturday's action in Newington, Connecticut. Wolves had an early power play, and their top unit went to work. Herbie Zybots got it to the net, found his own rebound, and made a great finish. Wolves started off the game 1-0. Connecticut Chiefs, though, they wouldn't give up. They scored late goals to make the game close and sent it to overtime. 4-4 here in overtime action. They had a power play, so they were up 4 guys to 3, got it to the net. Colin Larson making a spectacular save to keep the Wolves in it. And here's the overtime winner. Nate Corwin makes a great play to get the puck and head into the offensive zone. Back from injury, Alex Carpenter makes a great play to receive the pass and finishes the shot. Wolves won 5-4 in overtime, getting the 2 points on the road. Wolves have now won 12 straight. So, Coach, the EHLP team got a nice 2 points against the Chiefs in a late season game. Heading to the playoffs here these last couple weeks, what are you looking to see out of that team?
Well, I think like you saw there on the last clip, getting Alex Carpenter back, who was the top forward in the league from last year, I think can definitely provide a boost here at the end of the season and in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Now, Coach, the EHL team had a fantastic weekend. They went undefeated. Tell me about them a little bit.
Yeah, so we were also down in Connecticut, played right after the EHL P game against the Chiefs. So we won that game, and then we followed up at home against Worcester Railers and won 4-3 on Sunday.
Great results. We got some clips we're going to show you.
So here we have Wolves EHL taking on the Connecticut Chiefs. This is the second period. Chiefs were on the power play. Tommy Connon picked off the puck and made a great play to Donnie Feldman, new player playing in his first game, and with a nice finish there, and gets off to a good start with his new team. So this is also from the Wolves game against the Connecticut Chiefs in the second period. Wolves battle to break the puck out here. The puck goes D behind the net. John Worley makes a long pass to Gabriel Jadoin and gets a shot. follows his own rebound there. The Wolves went on to win 5-3. Wolves were back in Laconia on Sunday afternoon, taking on the Worcester Railers, new team in the EHL. This was a tie game, 3-3 in the third period. The Wolves break the puck out. Nice play from DJ Schwenke to Dalton Carl. Great effort and a great pass to Tom Condon with the game winner.
So one thing about those clips that stands out, Coach, is you got a lot of different names, a lot of guys contributing. Who was a standout player, and what players were standout players this weekend for the EHL team?
Yeah, I think as you saw in the clip, Donnie Feldman played his first 2 games. He scored in each game, so that's a really nice addition for the team heading into the final stretch of the season and the playoffs. I also thought Tom Condon had a really good weekend, and then also today's guest, Sean O'Gorman, played really well both games.
That's a great segue into bringing our next guest on, Sean O'Gorman.
All right, with me now, this week's guest is Sean O'Gorman. Sean, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for dressing up. So you're from New York. Why don't you give us a little background, your hockey playing career, and kind of what led you here to Laconia and New England Wolves?
I'm from Potsdam, New York. I grew up playing hockey out on the pond, just like a lot of people. I went out to prep school, and then I met you, and this was the best fit for me, and I've enjoyed it since.
Great. What kind of things about the New England Wolves program that kind of led you to make the decision to come to New Hampshire and play in the EHL?
The coaches were good, and the amount of ice time that we get is better than any place else. That's about it.
Yeah. So maybe for the people watching, what does your typical day, practice day, look like during a regular weekday when the Wolves are practicing?
Normally we got a skills practice in the morning, whether it be forwards or the whole team or just defensemen. And then we have a normal practice after it and 2 ice sessions, and then we go over to the gym, work out, and then sometimes we got video. We watch video on our teams that are upcoming this week, and then go back to your house and finish the day off.
Great. Now, what do you think of the EHL so far? You've played about 3/4 of a season. What do you think of the league and the competition?
The league is what I expected. It's a competitive league. It's great for people that want to go and play college hockey. It gets you ready for college hockey for sure. There's a bunch of kids playing from the EHL in college, and just a competitive league all around. That's it.
You mentioned college hockey. What's kind of your personal goals that you want to get out of the Wolves program, and then also for the team here in the last stretch of games?
Personally, I want to come back and play again next year. Hopefully get to play in college hockey, play hockey as long as I can. And for the team, I hope we go all the way through playoffs, make it to Providence, and make it to the championship game and come back with a trophy.
All right. Thanks a lot, Sean.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, Coach, great interview with Sean. What are some of the intangibles? What are some of the things that Sean brings to the team and to the locker room that makes him different from some other players?
Yeah, I think, well, first as a player, Sean's a really good skater, really good penalty killer. And then I think intangibles, the main thing is that he's a really consistent player, which is not easy for young guys at this level to be consistent every single game, to be at the top of your game. So it's been really good to have on the team this year.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed about Sean, too, is he seems to play within himself. Like, he doesn't try to do things that are really going to be too high risk or too low risk. He makes plays that are consistent plays, and he's, like you said, a consistent player day in and day out by being that same type of player every single game.
I think those are the type of players that coaches like to have on the team, because you know what you get from them.
Absolutely. Yeah,
so this weekend coming up, more Wolves teams in action. Let's start with U14s.
Yeah, the U14s, we battling it out in that NEPAL action. They have one game coming up on Sunday against the Max Pro Jets. That's a crucial game. They're right in the middle of the standings, so it's points the 14s definitely got to have. Coach, tell me about the 16s.
So U16 team will play Samang Academy twice this weekend, team from Canada. So those should be two tough matchups.
Absolutely, and that team is a little bit different. We have kids who are also playing high school, and then they're coming back together for those late night practices, and also playing on Sunday games, sometimes twice. So really hats off to those kids who are making a commitment to the team, and that team's getting better. And I'm really excited to see where that team's going to be in the next couple of years too, as a first-year team.
Yeah, definitely. I think, as you said, that's the first year that we've had that team, so we're definitely looking to improve.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Wolves junior teams in action also.
Yeah.
When we start Premier team.
Yeah, the EHLP, they're kind of on a streak now where they're recovering from some injuries. They got some guys who are sick, guys who are nicked up with little injuries, and those guys are starting to get back into the lineup now. And on the positive end of that is we've had a weekend off, and we had one weekend games. This week's the same thing. We got one game this weekend. On Sunday, we play the New Hampshire Avalanche at home at 2:15 on Sunday. So looking to get some of those guys like Alarico Valentini, Andreas Matika, Ricard Chelensky, those guys back in the lineup against a really, really good opponent in a crucial game. Coach, tell me about the EHL.
So EHL plays Saturday night at 6:30 against the Valley Junior Warriors. And then on Sunday, take on the first place team in the league, Boston Junior Rangers at 2:15 down in Boston.
Now, what are you looking at of those games for the team this weekend?
Yeah, I think we're looking to build on last weekend. It was good to have 2 wins. I think we can play much better than we've shown, and certainly a good test for ourselves on Sunday. So yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely, and that's one of the final home games for the EHL team until the playoffs. That's at 6:30 at home in Merrill Fay Arena against the Valley Warriors before you go on the road on Sunday. Now Sunday's a jam-packed day. We got the 14s in action, we got the 16s in action, the P team, the EHL team, and then we also have our U10 and U12 teams that are practicing up in Conway at the Ham Arena. That team's a little bit different model. There's 2 teams are both tournament teams. Coach, tell me about the tournament team model and what is kind of the genesis of that program?
Yeah, so kind of the idea that we had was to bring players together from different kind of small town programs. I think between Central and Northern New Hampshire is kind of a great distance, and some good individual players, and so kind of the idea to bring those players together. Normally have one practice one time a month or several times a month, and then play in 3 to 4 tournaments, so some of those younger kids can play at a high level, and then also get exposed to the Wolves program.
And I think it does one other thing too, is a 9, 10, 11-year-old kid and a family has a tough decision to make sometimes. They're in their town program, they love their teammates, they love their coaches, but maybe they're not getting pushed in practices or games because they're playing against some competition that is maybe not where they need to be, or they're not getting a chance to play in different environments. So that tournament team model takes those top kids from that particular age group, gets them together from a huge geographic area in Northern New Hampshire, exposes them to our coaching staff a little bit, and then puts them in high-level tournaments. We have tournaments coming up actually at the beginning of March too with that team. We got some clips, we're going to show you that right now. So each practice has multiple components: in outdoor exercise, agilities where they're getting some off-ice training, and then they get to the on-ice practice, and they're coached by the EHL coaches. That's Coach Kuhns there coaching our U10s. So they're getting experience that the U20s have within our program, and they're getting it at 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, which is pretty amazing.
So for information on upcoming Wolves tryouts, including our U10 and U12 tournament teams, and all our other programs, you can go to www.ne-wolveshockey.com.